There's always a smart character in an anime, but today we made a list of smartest character comparing all anime seasons, and we are here with 15 smartest anime characters of all time. Itachi was quiet and insightful, showing noticeable maturity for his age and knowledge on how to deal with every situation. At the same time, Itachi was still fairly naive as a child in many real-world scenarios, and as such was willing to learn from his peers on how to differentiate situations. He lived at a distance, observing individuals and ideas without getting directly involved so that he could fully understand them. Although this approach prevented him from becoming close with many people, it enabled him to think and act without prejudice or preconceptions, instead of evaluating things strictly on their own merits. In the anime, Itachi unintentionally gained many friends and admirers for his genuine concern for others despite his passive nature. 9. Konan Edogawa. As Konan, Shinichi tries to behave like a child. He refers to Ran as Ranichin, Nichin meaning older sister, a common nickname Japanese children give to teenagers and young adults they look up to, and refers to Shinichi as Shinichi Nichin, Nichin meaning older brother. He also refers to Kogoro as Oyazan or Okin, both meaning uncle, although he also does this as Shinichi. As Shinichi, he refers to Konan as usually Konankan, or the kid in the glasses. Shinichi treats Konan as a separate person completely, thinking for example, changing back into Konan. Konan remains very close to Ran, who in return is very protective of him. However, because Ran is unaware of his true identity, Konan often finds himself in awkward situations with her, such as when she confessed her feeling for Shinichi to him and when she made him bathe with her at a hot spring. 8. Kakashi Hatake. Since his early childhood, Kakashi was very independent and self-confident, at times even appearing arrogant and condescending. Despite that, Kakashi was very perceptive and intuitive, quickly realizing the situation for what it was. After his father's death, Kakashi became more stern, aloof and cold toward others, following all the rules to the letter, chastising any who disobeyed them and willing to abandon his comrades to finish missions. As an adult, Kakashi typically has a relaxed and almost bored attitude, not prone to getting too worked up about anything or by anyone. Despite his increasingly growing reputation and prowess as a ninja, Kakashi has shown no signs of arrogance and is rather modest about his abilities. 7. Levi Ackerman. Levi is described as a clean freak by those who know him personally, as he prefers his environment and himself to be spotlessly clean. He is averse to having either himself or his equipment soiled, and has been known to wipe down his blood-smeared blades while still on the battlefield. However, he will not hesitate to touch filth if he deems it necessary. Despite his preoccupation with cleanliness, Levi is not very approachable. He rarely shows emotion, giving a cold impression to others. His manner of speaking tends to be very blunt, even insulting, and his comments are often coarse or inappropriate. 6. Shikamaru. Nara. Shikamaru is naturally a lazy person, and his inclination is to do as little work as possible. As an academy student and even during his early career as a genin, Shikamaru is able to get away with this, spending his days sleeping, watching the clouds, or playing games of shogi and go. His goal is to live unremarkably, free of anything of noticeably good or bad, and then to die just as unremarkable as he lived. When he is faced with the potential for conflict or commitment, he responds first by saying how troublesome, and then by trying to find some way out of it, either by pretending to be indisposed or even outright saying that he doesn't want to do whatever it is. 5. Johann Liebert. Johann is a certifiable sociopath. He has no conscience whatsoever and revels in human suffering. The only two people that he seemed to refuse to kill are his sister, Anna, and the doctor that saved his life, Drive. Kenzo Tenma. He claimed that he has two personalities in his mind, where one likes to commit murder and one tries to stop the murders. The evil personality is the dominant one, and the other has yet to be physically seen. His sister once described Johann as being absolute evil. He is also fully aware of what he is, not even trying to justify his actions. He is cruel, violent, and manipulative, but pretends to be polite, generous, and empathetic to hide his true colors. He is also very persuasive and charismatic. For Minato Namikaze. Despite his physical resemblance to Naruto, Minato was more perceptive and collected than his son as a child. Jiraiya said that Minato was a shrewd person, not one to do something without a reason. He was well aware of the terror his reputation inspired in rival villages and would take advantage of it at times, but even then he would remain respectful to opponents. Minato also wouldn't pry into other people's personal affairs unless he felt it was necessary and was not the type to hold grudges, only feeling sorry for Tobi Obito despite his role in his own and Kushina's deaths. If anything, Minato blames himself for his death for several reasons. He couldn't save Obito from the fate that corrupted him, Konoha from the difficulties that arose after he was gone, and even his own son Naruto from the painful and difficult life he suffered as a Jinchuriki orphan. 3. Nen is very intelligent, although his childish appearance and demeanor can cause others, such as David Hoop, to question his abilities. He has an obsession with solving complex problems and views the investigation is like solving a puzzle. He is highly observational and was once seen piecing together a puzzle that was almost entirely colored white. He is proficient when it comes to multitasking and is able to monitor multiple computer screens at once. Nier also appears to be ambidextrous, playing darts with his left hand and stacking dice with his right. 2. Lawliet LL is quite secretive and only communicates with the world through his assistant, Watari. He never shows his face to the world in person, instead of representing himself with a capital letter L drawn in Old English MT, or cloister black typeface. It is more likely to be cloister black, as Watari's W is different in Old English Mount. After meeting the Japanese task force, he requests that the task force refers to him as Razaki, as an additional safety measure. The task force never learns his true name, and it is revealed in neither the manga nor anime. L is very intelligent, though his disheveled and languid appearance masks his great powers of deduction, and many questions his abilities upon viewing him. He tends to second-guess everything he is presented with and is extremely meticulous and analytical. 1. Lelouch Lamperouge. Lelouch is a highly intelligent individual who is also calm, sophisticated, and arrogant due to his aristocratic upbringing. While at school, Lelouch conducts himself as a sociable, likable, and often easygoing student. However, this is rarely a mask to hide his true nature. While as Zero, his true nature is expressed. His charisma and beliefs in justice gain him the trust and respect of many soldiers and leaders. Lelouch is known for having a very stoic personality. He never cared about schoolwork, seeing the entire thing as trivial, even though his high intelligence would make it easy for him. At one point, Shirley stated that if Lelouch applied himself in school, he could get high grades. Who's your favorite? Let me hear you guys out in the comments so you can get connected with me on Snapchat Vibes16 and Instagram. Stay tuned. Today we are back with an amazing list of short episode anime series that are absolutely worth watching. You might think what type of story a short episode anime will have. But I assure you guys the anime I mentioned complete their story in that short time. Without wasting any moment, let's start with Best Short Episode Anime Series 1. Tiki Uno Plot. No problem, that's TQU's stance on anime. This is a show about nothing in particular except a high school tennis club that doesn't play tennis ever. 2. Onichi Gakita. After a new marriage, Tomoe Mizuhara gets a new sister, and he is not prepared. Not prepared to endure her intense love for him anyway. 3. Ayura. What do you do at school when there is nothing to do? Not take notes and possibly learn something, that is for damn sure. If you need ideas on how to goof off in school, this group has plenty of them. Continue reading.